Okay, so basically, I'll be discussing mentorship. Actually, this whole day has been a form of mentorship. We've sat for 9 hours listening to professionals express their opinion in the field, their experiences, all the job opportunities they've had, and how they moved from one job to another. It's a formal advice, and this is what mentorship is. It's basically linking to students who are motivated to other professionals from the same field or the field that students are aspiring to go into, and giving them guidance and advice. There's a Nobel Prize winner called, by the name Rosalie Yallo. In 1977, she addressed the students of Stockholm, and she said, she addressed them as the carriers of our hopes for the survival of the world and our dreams for its future. She also added that we transmit to you, the next generation, which is us, the total sum of our knowledge. Yours is the responsibility to use it, to add to it, and transmit it to our children. So, from what we've seen today, from the hundreds of conversations we've had and the people we've listened to today, professionals, we now know that the only efficient and effective method for conveying professional knowledge and guidance from one generation to the next is mentorship. So, today we listened to Mr. Al-Masqati. He discussed what we should avoid in order while moving to the job sector. And he said, before we move to the job sector, we need to avoid choosing the wrong major. We need not to have the real we need to have the real information. Browse the competitive job market. Having unrealistic expectations that we need to avoid. Being reluctant to relocate, having weak general knowledge, and lacking research on target employers. These are the things we have to avoid. But how do we know that these are the things we have to avoid? We can't just be born with this information. Someone has to tell us, someone has to advise us, to guide us. So basically, there are benefits we can get from the mentor. As a mentee, as a trainee, as a student, the mentor will provide me with potential career options, will enlighten me about the potential career options from experience, the information we can get from experienced professionals. We get advice, obviously. We are exposed to a network of professionals. Like today, I've met with many professionals and I've gotten a lot of advice. And basically, this is a sort of mentorship. We learn about the specifics of the industry, the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts. We share aspirations and our hopes and dreams with the mentor, with our idol. So the Dean of Faculty of Development and Diversity at the Harvard Medical School, he said, the truly complete mentor, which in our case should be the alumni or the alumnus, should have characteristics such as being a guide, a coach, an advocate, a role model, and a boss, and basically have to carry out these roles on a long-term basis. So we all get benefits from the mentor, right? But what would the mentor benefit? Fuad spoke of Romney spoke of the benefits a mentor might when he gave the example of a billionaire who plans to see it and watch it from far. But what else can a mentor get? Well, first of all, it's an investment, like Romney explained. And from the student, the mentor can open to a contact base of many students who are also graduating with fresh ideas that could potentially develop the mentor's programs and companies. Also, that comes with advertising, publicity, and expanding revenue consistently. And finally, as a mentor, meeting with, as an alumni, meeting with graduate students brings back all the memories of college, and basically, it's a new relationship, it's a new friendship. And there's also the individual development plan. This plan can be used by mentors to assist and guide students in determining short-term performance needs and long-term career options. And it's applicable to, so it's a process, a step-by-step process that mentors can apply on students who can eventually decide on their career path. So its application extends to all professions, not just limited ones. Now, Samuel will continue with his idea plan.